very good evening. Our expert for today's session is Shikha Sundriyal. Welcome, ma'am. On behalf of Team Enlightenment, I hope your loved ones are doing well. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Atri Roy, and I will be mentoring today's webinar. Enlightenment is India's first personalized web app platform to solve students' problem of determining their career path. Now, without any further delay, we will start our talk. For our audience, our esteemed guest is a leading yoga enthusiast and coach from the last 11 years. She has worked with over 1,200 professionals with simple yoga, pranayam, and meditation practices. She will be guiding us today to the world of yoga. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Atray. First of all, a very happy International Yoga Day to you.
Yes, a very happy International Yoga Day.
Thank you.
Okay. So without any further delay, we can directly go to the questions.
Yes.
So now, very basic. We want to know about your journey, then we can go with the career aspect. So ma'am, how long have you been practicing yoga, and how did you get started with it?
Okay, not many of people know that I am from Kendra Vidyalaya, a central school, and a KV product. And in our school back in the days, yoga was always a staple. It was a mandatory subject, not a part of the curriculum, but it was always there. So I was introduced to yoga at a very, very early age. Maybe I was 4 or 5 years old when I started. But professionally, I started in 2010. This was again 11 years ago, April 2010. And my journey has been really very, very enriching. The reason why I joined yoga was, of course, like most of the yoga enthusiasts, yoga teachers, and so many past renowned yoga teachers and gurus, my reasons were related to my personal health, my personal life. But within a few months of practicing yoga, like in a very disciplined and professional way, I was hooked onto it. I was like, this feels like hand in a glove, and I would like to pursue it further and just see how it goes. But pursuing it professionally was never a primary concern for me.
Okay. That was a very interesting journey, like how you started with it. So you had the yoga thing from a very childhood, and I think schools should actually encourage yoga more nowadays in the curriculum and with the current health situation. So ma'am, yes ma'am.
Actually, what happens is, yoga is, of course, it has been included in a lot of schools and even universities and colleges these days. But I am not entirely sure how it is approached, because back when we were kids, it was approached as a side, activity, like something like it was not optional, so to speak. We used to practice only once a week. So that was not now, of course, but I'm pretty sure nowadays schools have started to make it more regular, and I would love to see yoga as like a compulsory subject in future. Let's see, it is going to benefit the kids for sure.
Definitely. So I'm moving on to the next question. Like, what was the moment that you decided that this is your career? Like, this is that you want to do for the rest of your life?
Okay, this is very, very interesting actually. As I told you, I never planned to become a yoga teacher. I was giving my other, competitive exams when I started practicing yoga for my own reasons. Then my teacher, who was, from whom I was learning yoga at that time, I was very inquisitive, and this was the first time the inquisitiveness, the inclination towards yoga came very naturally in me. And in a very regular yoga class, I used to stay back after the class and converse with my teacher and ask so many questions. Obviously, for the lack of time, within a few days, he kind of told me, instead of discouraging me that, I don't have time, he encouraged me to pursue a professional course, 6 months course, that would give me a deeper understanding of what the subject is, of what the practice is, and kind of quench my thirst for knowledge of yoga. And I started practicing, I started doing my professional course. Even at that time, I was not sure that I want to pursue it professionally. But there was a moment, I think one particular day, when my course got over, one of the teachers from where I learned, one of the teachers fell sick and there was no replacement. So they asked me to just give it a shot. I was very apprehensive because I've never taught anything in my life. So I just went in, I was like, let me just try, what is the harm? So I took the class, it went very well. It felt so natural and effortless for me that by the end of the class, a lot of students came to me and said that you taught so well and everything. It was a different kind of, affirmation for me that, this is it, because first class, where it goes well, I feel so good that I was able to help my students, the students feel something by the end of the class. I was like, you know what, let me pursue it. And then there was no looking back after that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like that's like exploring, and then you just hit it there.
Exactly. No planning. Because sometimes when you plan too much for a career, planning is of course necessary, which I'll come down to. For the lack of planning, I had my own share of failures in my career. But at that time, had I planned too much, I might not have pursued yoga as a profession.
Great. Okay, ma'am. So moving on next, what was the most challenging moment in your journey so far?
The most challenging part, which I am no shame in admitting that it still remains a challenge, is promoting myself. I can promote you, I can promote anyone else, and in the best possible way, in a really nice way. Like I originally come from a marketing background before I pursued yoga, so I know how to help people grow their brand. But when it comes to self promotion, and I'm sure this is not a unique case with me, a lot of my peers also feel the same. Promoting myself and putting myself out there that, this is who I am, come to me and learn yoga from me. It still remains a challenge speaking about me, about myself and my work.
Correct.
Marketing, I think self-marketing and self-promotion remains a challenge.
Every field has their own bit of challenges and ups and downs, definitely.
True.
Yeah. So moving on to the next question would be, what has yoga done to you as a person? How has it changed you as a person?
How has it changed me as a person is again slightly difficult to articulate in a few words, but if I just try, it has made me very, in the moment. I'm not very future driven anymore. That, the lust for future, this will happen, that will happen, all those things. And second thing, which has effortlessly happened within me, is letting go of the past. Letting go of the past hurt, past failures, whatever could, should, would have been, all those things. It happens a little more effortlessly. I wouldn't say I've completely snapped out of I'm a detached person, but the process of letting go has become very effortless. The lust for the future has really calmed down, and I'm really very content in my life. And third biggest thing that I've experienced is my lifestyle, my choice for my taste for food and drinks or whatever I consume in my day has really shifted. And it has happened on its own. I was a complete meat eater before I began yoga. And nobody ever told me that you have to quit meat before you become a yoga teacher or you pursue yoga. But within a few months or maybe 1 or 2 years of practicing, I kind of lost taste for meat, lost taste for a lot of other things. These subtle changes happen. Of course, the changes keep happening slowly and gradually. When you, in retrospect, you think that, oh wow, I've really changed from what I was a few years ago. But just looking at right now, I don't feel what to change.
Okay, so that's like has been a lifestyle change for you, more like a lifestyle change.
Lifestyle, perspective shift, a lot of, yeah, shift has happened.
Right, right. So like from this we get to know how important it is to at least practice yoga daily on your own. And for that you need a proper guide who can guide you through, how to go about it. And nowadays, like with the changing world and people are more like unhealthy has become the new thing. Like everybody is unhealthy, lifestyle diseases, etc. So this really actually gives us the intel how important it is. This changes not only physically but mentally also.
Yes, of course, you got that actually right. That one thing I tell all my students or whoever wants to practice yoga, I tell them that don't aim for miraculous changes, transformation overnight, and don't put a timeline कि मुझे इतने महीनों में इतने हफ्तों में मुझे weight lose करना है, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए. Forget about that. Just make sure that you're consistent, and that's it. Yoga will take care of everything. You just be consistent. That's it.
Correct. Okay, ma'am. On this point, we'll move on to the next question. Like, again, it's very much relevant to the previous one that for the upcoming generation, like for the students who are coming up with after the pandemic and the career choices they're making, what would you suggest as a yoga enthusiast that should it be a career or should it be a hobby, like a side thing that you do apart from your main career?
Okay.
Like your suggestion.
Wow, actually, it's an absolutely personal expression. It's a personal choice. If they feel inclined towards it, then why not? Because what I have understood in my career is, and of course, being in my social circle, seeing everybody in their own respective diverse careers and fields, is if you don't choose our career for the right purpose, for the right reasons, we will always struggle. We will always struggle because if you have not chosen it for the sheer love for how it makes us feel, we will always struggle being committed to it. We will always be focused on the results than how the process is making us feel. If an artist is, if you may be a great artist, you may be a great illustrator, but if you don't like designing just for the sheer skill to have become an illustrator, you might not enjoy it and you'll be frustrated very soon. So yeah, I think if the kids have the inclination, then why not? Of course, before trying the career, you cannot know whether or not you like the career. And this is what I tell a lot of kids in my family also who are young kids, fresh out of college. I tell them, until 20, in your 20s, experiment. Don't be like जो 23 में career choose कर लिया, that is the it. That is
correct.
For the rest of my life. Experiment, give it a year at least. एक साल में पता चल जाएगा whether or not you like what you're doing. But as I said, as a hobby or not I won't call it a hobby, but I think yoga should be at least tried as a lifestyle. What has really happened, sadly, but also in a very good way, that in the past, as you mentioned it, in these times, in the past over 1 year, a lot of people, millions of people across the world have suddenly awakened to the benefits of this, ancient tradition. What on one hand, it's incredible, it's amazing, but on the other hand, I have just a small problem with this, that it is, if you do anything for a solution, the moment it solves the problem, you leave it. But if you apply it, if you embrace it as a lifestyle, it will continue. It's like if you have a cavity, you'll go to the dentist, it's a great solution, but you don't keep going to the dentist every month, every week. But you brush it every day. That's a habit. More than a hobby, make it a habit, I think.
Correct. Okay, so as we are talking here about off-peak careers and how can a yoga enthusiast take up yoga as a career. So ma'am, we would love you to share a detailed thing about the courses or certifications that a person should, go for it so that they can begin their journey in the world of yoga.
Okay. So, if a kid is planning to pursue yoga as a career or just, gain some deeper knowledge and certification in yoga, there are different universities, government authorized government universities in India, not as many as there should be, but they are good enough across India where these universities are offering graduation, post-graduation, PhD degrees in yoga, of course, and there are countless, literally thousands and lakhs of institutes, private institutes. A lot of them have been affiliated with the government, either state government or national government, central government. And these institutes offer you certificate courses, short-term programs, and teachers training program. So if, for example, if a person comes to me, if a kid comes to me and asks me what course should I pursue to become a yoga teacher, I would suggest them to take at least one graduation certificate, or if graduation feels like a drag, and if they want to pursue yoga education in the parallel run along with their main graduation course, they can go for these teachers training certificates. And when I say teacher training certification, because I have done literally, I've run out of counts how many courses I've done in the past 11 years, because I was always trying to figure out which course gives me the best knowledge. So there are a lot of institutes and colleges which are giving me the certificates, but very few are actually imparting correct knowledge, correct information, correct techniques, and correct approach for you to be a better practitioner and a better teacher. So be very, very judicious. Do your own research before you jot down to, okay, this is the course that I want to do. One teacher's training course, preferably an international certification from the Yoga Alliance. So there's this autonomous body in the United States called Yoga Alliance that certifies and gives the authority and authenticity to so many institutes across the world, most of which are in India, of course, to teach students to be a yoga teacher who can conduct their classes and teach across the world. So I think this one particular certification is good if you really are serious about your career, if you're really serious about being a yoga teacher, because this gives you a wider, platform to work on. Otherwise, you will be limited. And secondly, the kind of knowledge in these certificates that is provided is very global, very scientific, with a very worldview perspective. Otherwise, it can be very limited, very, what do you say? How do I say it? Very limited.
Okay.
Graduation certificate, either 1 year certificate or, but definitely teacher's training certificate. Definitely teacher's training certificate.
Okay, that was a lot of knowledge about the courses and certification. So I'm now with the current situation in India and international, like with right now in 2021, what do you think is the scope of yoga as a career? Like, will it be like a thing that is flourish in future, or it is like going to be like this, or like how are people reacting to it in the open world?
That's actually a very good question, because a lot of people have asked me, and in the last 1 year, a lot of people have shifted from their traditional careers. Out of no other option, because a lot of people have, been kicked out of their jobs, have no jobs, or they've chosen to shift career. So when it comes to scope, the scope is of course still unfathomable, I would say. You're a generation, you're a young, you belong to the young generation, so you are seeing it unfolding the situation, literally unfolding in front of you. So what I see from the current situation is it has maximum impact on the mental health. Maximum. From being homebound to, of course, the COVID situation has really made us reflect on our health. So many things have happened. So the scope is only going to grow many, many fold. Of course, so many people, millions and millions of people have realized the importance of yoga, realized the importance of their health, and realized the importance of being proactive towards taking care of their well-being. So the scope is really a lot. There are, if I just jot it down, of course, you can be a private practitioner, a freelancer, which I have been till now. You can be a teacher, yoga teacher in schools. I think what has happened in the last 1 year is a lot of unconventional spaces have also opened up to the idea of having yoga as part of their either curriculum in the educational institutes or a part of their routine. Say offices always had some fitness space. Now they are including yoga also as a part of an option for their employees. So you can be a yoga teacher as a freelancer, yoga teacher in school, in university, in some private institute or a government institute. You can be a yoga teacher in hospitals, private or government hospitals. You can be a yoga teacher with some already existing yoga school. So many yoga institutes and schools are there. And of course, these yoga educational institutes are there. You can be a yoga teacher with the embassies. You can be a yoga teacher in any of the government ministry or the government department. You can, of course, if you are internationally certified with the Yoga Alliance, you can be a yoga teacher with any space international on international platform. Or the scope is so much.
That's great. That's a lot of scope.
Yes, there is a lot of scope from earning, and I tell this because ultimately a career without money, you're not doing charity, you need food on the table, and you want career growth. So if you start from a good institute, and if you've learned good enough, if you have good skill, yoga, ultimately teaching yoga is a skill. The skills of correct knowledge, correct techniques, if you have the right skill sets, good skill sets, then you can earn anywhere starting from say 10,000 a month to a lakh a month. There is no limit to that then. You can keep growing. It ultimately comes down to what is your perspective. You want to be a teacher in some space, or you want to run your own thing, or whatever it is. According to that, you can go ahead. I always tell people that yoga is one of the most fluid career because it really, like potato, it fits into every sphere. There's no place that would say, oh, I don't need yoga, we don't need yoga. Everybody needs yoga these days.
Correct. Everybody needs it. I totally agree on this point. Everybody needs yoga. Okay, that was a lot of insight into the world of yoga and how the scopes and everything. So I think it will be better for all the students, those who actually want to take this seriously as their career. So ma'am, lastly, like coming towards the end of the session, so the very last question would be any personal tips or suggestions, anything that you want to share with all the students, those who will be watching this whole webinar.
Tips for their personal life or from the perspective of yoga as a career?
Perspective as a career, as a person, any tips that you want to give out to reach out to the students?
Okay. One tip that I just mentioned and talked about that please see how you can make yoga or at least include even 10 minutes of yoga in your life as a habit. What I tell everyone, and I truly believe in this, that consistency is more important than how many hours are you devoting to a particular thing. Brushing your teeth takes less than 5 minutes, but consistency, consistent effect, the compound effect is it's very, very important. In the same way, be consistent try and learn it from professionals with some level of experience and expertise. Try not to learn a lot of yoga through YouTube. Please, YouTube is only a suggestive platform to give you kind of an introduction to what yoga is. But if you try and learn intense yoga, if you try to learn something that is more than 5,000 years old, a science tradition that is more than 5,000 years old, if you try to learn it through YouTube or any other virtual platform, you might actually enjoy yourself, in the long run. Most definitely don't try to treat anyone by learning something through YouTube or, internet. And when it comes to career, I've told you that. What I've also suggested a lot of young, freshers in the field of yoga is try and assist while you're learning, while you're doing your courses, or even before you plan to become a teacher, you plan to do a course, you can assist some existing good teacher who you really look up to, who you have been in touch with, or who you know. You can assist them for a while, get a hang of what the field is all about, and then you can go ahead and see how you want to take it forward. That is the only tip that I can give right now.
That was a great. Thank you so much, ma'am. So coming to the end of the webinar. So that was a great session, and like we would like to thank you, ma'am, for being with us here. I'm sure today's session has cleared ample of doubts for all the yoga enthusiasts, all our future yoga enthusiasts, to be honest. And it was a pleasure to have you with us. And all the future yoga instructors, stay tuned with us. If you have any questions regarding this amazing career path, then do write it down in the comment section. All your queries will be personally addressed by our expert. So Enlightenment is working towards the goal of inspiring students to excel in their career path. With the changing dynamics, we bring the experts from some of the very interesting and offbeat careers. So download our application and follow us on our social media handles to explore the world of careers. So lastly, I hope that everyone is doing well and is safe. On this note, I would like to conclude today's webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care, Atray.